Good morning. It's Lianne Phillipson coming to you from Sprout Right headquarters this morning with 1 week to go until Christmas Day. And while we all don't celebrate Christmas, I do, my family does, it's a time where the gratitude of the year, of friends, I think just of everything. It's a time to reflect and look back on the past year and just to see like, wow, look at everything that's happened. Look at all the people in our lives who have enriched our lives, who have loved us, who have just been with us through thick and thin. And then there's also people that haven't. There's also people who provide contrast for us and give us things to think deeper about and to talk about and to process about. So there's so much that out there that that comes at us, and different people have different support systems at this time of year. And I'm divorced, and I remember the first few years after going through a divorce and realizing like, wow, the fact that my family, my immediate family anyway, is not here in Toronto, which is where I'm based, meant that I was, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on my own. My children are going to be with their dad. And what does that mean for me? So there have been times where I have very generously been invited into other people's homes for Christmas Eve time, for Christmas Day dinners. And while sometimes you just think, no, it'll be nice just to hang out, it really is a time of being with people. So if that means for you to invite people into your home at this time of year, it really is important. I've had many people around my dinner table on Christmas Day, providing them a meal, not because they needed it, just because to have company, just for people to be together, because this is definitely the time of year where we do need to be together. So extending that a little bit further out there and showing gratitude by giving back is actually really important as well. And not only around this time of year, it's really important to do this at any time of year. I went to an event where we went around to a whole bunch of different farms in Ontario, which was just a beautiful event. Just to learn so much about what is out there north of the city, east of the city, and no matter where you happen to be in the world, you can always go and check out more of this. And it was just so enlightening. And one of the women who was on the trip with us, on the driving around with us, she's an amazing food stylist for one of the local shows in Toronto, actually a national show, and just such a beautiful individual. And she shared her story that she had started volunteering at an organic farm. And while you think, yes, organic farming, it's all fancy and, you know, it costs more money and all those kind of things, well, there's reasons for that. And it's not necessarily that that they have so much more staff. They need a lot of help too. So that was something that she had decided to do, and she volunteers there 3 times a week, brings people along with her. They provide a beautiful meal after people have been out in the fields or weeding or doing whatever, so you can actually go out there and spend a good portion of your day, be fed a beautiful meal afterwards, and you've helped out the farmers with something that they genuinely need a lot more help with. So there's things that can be done all throughout the year that really is giving back. It's not just around this holiday season, although this is certainly a time where people who are on their own, they really do feel it so much more. So so depending on where you are, because I know I'm speaking from Toronto, but there are so many places that need help, no matter where you happen to live in the world. Now, I went to a site called blogto.com, and there's a huge list, which I have on my computer behind the screen here, from holiday helpers, the Salvation Army, the Daily Bread Food Bank, Meals on Wheels, Epilepsy Toronto, Habitat for Humanity, Second Harvest. You can be a part of their annual turkey drive by volunteering at several Loblaws locations around the city. And I do know someone that was a part of that, which was absolutely tremendous. The Heart and Stroke Foundation, the Young Street Mission, and there's just, the list goes on and on and on. I also know that there's the Stop. That's another really popular place that I've seen so much more of this year for whatever reason, that's a place where a lot of donations are going to for people in need. Now, my local fresh food market called the Sweet Potato in the Junction, because I'm in the West End of Toronto. Now they've set up an initiative where they will match what you donate, and they have a few things up on their Instagram feed, so check out the Sweet Potato. And if you are in the West End of Toronto, if you're watching this in your local, then do check it out and see what their initiative is, because if you're going shopping anyway, then you can just head off to the Sweet Potato and then you can donate there. There's obviously donating food stuffs, but sometimes I've been reading in this past year, or certainly more recently, it's actually better just to give some cash than to going to give, that box of mac and cheese or the non-perishable or the jars or all of those kind of things. And I personally have always had, especially around Halloween time, I always think, oh my goodness, I don't want to go and give all of this candy away. Although there'll be a lot of people that'd be happy about it, but that sort of doesn't quite fit with my values, because if I'm suggesting that nobody's really eating it, then I don't want to go and give it away to a whole bunch of other kids who are going to eat it. So, and it's not that I don't want kids to have the experience, but giving them piles of candy. So you need to figure out what it is that actually works for you too, and is in line with your values, whether it's donating with someone coming to your door and saying, hey, can we do this? Or whether it's, a huge initiative like Sick Kids building their amazing new hospital. That certainly is something that would affect everyone all around the world. Then you can really make sure that your dollars are going to the place that you want them to go to. So it is a time of giving back, and if you've got kids, then it's such a tremendous time to model for them about giving back. So taking one of their toys or going to buy a toy and taking it to a toy drive, that's another huge thing to do. I believe the CTV has one. There's Toy Mountain. So there's all sorts of ways that you can give a gift. And for kids not to understand that there's another child out there that won't have a tree with piles of presents underneath is actually really empowering for them to then take that one step further and decide for them what is it that they could do. So once you've done this year, then talk about it for next year, and then let them come up with new ideas as well. So write down below, because there's people who are part of the Sprout Right community who are all over the world, and certainly all over Ontario or Toronto or Canada. Type down below for me and for us to let us know where I've gone to blog.to to find out what's local in my area. Then type out down below underneath here in the comments, just to let us know where you find out about what's local for you, to and maybe help somebody else out. Or I've been here, or I've spent my Christmas morning here helping to prep food for for the homeless or something like that, because that's just such a powerful thing to do too. So anything that's surrounding food obviously is something that I'm particularly interested in, but there are so many people that also are too. So I'd love to hear more about how you're giving back and what it is that you do with your family every year. And then I will post some lovely pictures as well of whatever we end up doing as well. All right, happy holidays to you. Thank you so much for beautiful 2018, and we so look forward to being a part of your lives in 2019. So take good care.